What's up, everyone?
Hello.
This is Benched, and we are the Tovar Brothers. Monday, September 18, 2023, episode number 28.
There's only one.
Great, number 28. Who do you got?
AP, Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, and who they give it to this offseason? Who was that? N'Keal Harry?
N'Keal Harry.
Great, number 28.
The Jets running back, the 90s guy, 28.
Curtis Martin.
Chris Martin, 28. Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson. Yeah, Chris Johnson. Great,
it's a good one, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Episode number 28. Man, this is moving right along here as we wrap up, not quite, but wrap up Sunday of week number 2.
Yep.
I believe a doubleheader tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be great, dude.
Should be a good time.
Get out for early if you can.
Today was great. As much of a dud as week 1 was fantasy-wise, week 2 was balling.
They've awoken.
They really brought it. And
except for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Not everyone has reached midseason form in week 2 yet. So we're going to try not to overreact, but there's some teams that should be panicking.
Some 0-2 teams like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
We'll get on to that.
On this episode, we will debut something new that we're going to call Ball Don't Lie. And I don't know if you ever played basketball growing up and you call a foul and it's not real.
It's one of those classic, you go for a layup, you miss it bad. Like,
yeah.
Foul. Come on, arm.
And then you take it out, line up from 3, and just don't even hit the backboard or the rim. And someone inevitably shouts, "Hey, ball don't lie."
Hey, ball don't lie, bro.
Yeah. The point is, there are narratives out there that aren't necessarily true because the game is played on the field, not in your mouth.
We can hype up any player, but once you get on the field, it's different.
There's a reason we play the games, and we take a whole offseason to make up narratives, and now we're actually playing games. So we're going to take a look at some things that are actually happening versus the narratives that we have been talking about for months now. We'll also get into the news, and should be a good show. Pretty excited about it.
Week 2 always feels like week 1 now because the rust is off.
Right.
You see these quarterbacks getting into groove, these offenses getting into groove, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video, all those things. Turn on those notifications. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, thank you so much. And you can do the same. Also, leave a review if you like the show. If you don't, just move along.
If you don't, leave a review anyway. We'll take it.
Leave a review. Just maybe on someone else's page. Just leave a review about us.
Yeah.
Just as long as it's not on our page.
@benched.
That's how they do it, right?
I'm sure.
That's how they teach you to do it.
Yep.
Follow the show Between the Show on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Search @BenchShow on all those platforms. And, those are all fun. We put up a lot of stuff throughout the week. Clips from the show, but also just reaction to news happening. And the NFL doesn't stop.
No,
we do 3 shows a week, but the NFL, 7 days a week, drama, baby.
Sometimes we're sitting there and something happens. We're like, man, we need to have a show right now.
Yeah. Because
so much stuff happens.
And that's when we go to social media and react there. First things first here, let's get into the news. The news is brought to you by 818 Brewing. If you're in the LA area, we have the perfect spot for you and your crew, to catch the next game. 818 Brewing has the perfect tasting room to get together with your buddies, grab a drink, and enjoy the game. Their selection of beer includes something for everyone.
Yep.
And it's brewed there all on site. Stop by 818 Brewing on 8953 DeSoto Avenue in Canoga Park, and we will see you there. A lot of news here to get into, so let's go ahead and jump in. First, a weird one out of Chicago. Now, you sent me this tweet, and I totally missed it. It's weird. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Maybe this has something to do with how the team is playing. Bears DC is just not there.
Just didn't want to come into work today for week 2.
Defensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears, Alan Williams, missed yesterday's game, Sunday's game, at Tampa Bay due to personal reasons. So,
hope nothing's wrong.
Yeah. Obviously, that's unsaid or said, but we won't say it again. Head coach Matt Eberflus told reporters that he will fill in as defensive coordinator versus the Bucs, and there's currently no time frame for Williams' return. So that's wild.
This can go either way.
He's just not there.
This can go either way, like a mental health thing, or like he had something bad.
Yeah,
like he was a little naughty, or
either way, man. Just to add to the things that are going wrong in Chicago.
you have
the DC is out.
You have a rotating door at coordinator isn't the greatest to have.
No.
Even if it's your head coach. Some head coaches don't do play calling because they want to be the CEO. And if he has more on his plate, maybe he's not as in tune to the whole game.
Right.
They lost. So,
although if I remember correctly, he was a pretty successful defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
so maybe they get better on defense. Who knows?
I mean, they lost.
Yeah, they didn't today.
Yeah. Maybe this is
maybe down the road.
Yeah.
Jay Glazer actually had some more bad news out of well, I guess this isn't bad news. This is good news. But last week, if you caught Chase Claypool's effort on Twitter or whatever, we joked about it a little bit. Yeah. It was terrible. According to Jay Glazer, okay, and we gotta think the guy's connected. He knows some people in the building.
Yep.
According to Jay Glazer, Chase Claypool was told that if he continues to show a lack of effort, not only will he be a healthy scratch, but he might also be shipped out. And he put shipped out in quotations. Apparently you heard that from someone in the building, and Chase Claypool's already on the naughty list in Chicago after
he caught touchdowns.
Maybe he is turning things around. He also went on to say that Chase Claypool apologized to his teammates, coaches, and the front office.
That's what you want.
Then it caught a touchdown today.
Yeah.
So Chase Claypool on the way up. Go buy Chase Claypool in all leagues.
Mooney got hurt, so nice feeling here.
They need him.
They need someone else.
Claypool. They need
a lot.
They
really
need a lot. Yeah.
Can he play guard?
That's a great point.
Yeah. Or like tackle, or even center. We'll take anyone we can get.
Or defensive coordinator. They don't have one of those anymore.
Or like maybe like a running back that's like effective.
Yeah, they got a lot of holes there. The Bears actually ended up trading what ended up being the 32nd overall pick for Claypool, so they have incentive to make that thing work. Because I tell you what, they're not getting the 32nd pick back.
Nope, that thing is gone.
That's what you call net loss.
Yeah.
Moving on here, Glazer also had some bombs out of L.A. The Rams running back Cam Akers tweeted this after finding out he was a healthy scratch in today's game. The man who ended Sunday's game. The man who ended last year with, I think, 6 games of 100-yard rushing or something. I forgot what it was, but ended last year very strong.
Yeah.
And was looking like, okay, this man has recovered from an Achilles miraculously and now looks like the phenom we all thought he once was. Well, today he was a healthy scratch. And Kyron Williams, a.k.a. McVay's boy, got
Do they like each other? Like, they've had drama before.
They obviously don't. Obviously, last year he had beef with Sean McVay. It was, I mean, they're saying
he was like, "I'm gonna retire."
Yeah, and they were looking to trade him. And then all of a sudden he's just starting running back again. He tweeted this: "I'm just as confused as everyone else," and that was after being reported. So that's just a wild situation. Jay Glazer said he believes he's about to be traded very soon. So. Okay. Maybe Cam Akers end up somewhere else, and we see the real Cam Akers and what he is, and he will have a massive chip on his shoulder.
Let me name you a couple teams, and what would you give up for him, okay, that need running backs, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
If you're the Colts, obviously need a running back, what would you give up for Cam
Zach
Akers?
Moss looked okay.
Okay.
So you're not totally desperate. It's not like you just have Deion Jackson, who looked awful week 1.
Okay.
I wouldn't give up any higher than a 5th. 6th.
Yeah.
It's a running back who has an Achilles injury and has not had a
and
full
week
slate
1,
of games.
He wasn't even good this year.
He wasn't good this year. Yeah, I doubt they get much from him. They might have to cut him.
I don't know who's going to trade for him, even a 7th-round pick.
Yeah, I don't know who's – it would have to be someone who's desperate. Maybe the Ravens?
Or has an injury. Yeah, maybe the Ravens, but they would just wait till they cut him and then just add him to the practice squad and just leave him there.
Yeah. I think most teams I think most teams will call this bluff and just say, no, you're probably going to cut him.
We're not going to pay anything for him.
Yeah. So that's a weird situation. Keep an eye on that. Kyron Williams got all the carries. So fantasy, go pick up him.
Yep.
I'm sure most of you did last week and were rewarded today.
Mm-hmm.
Some news out of Jets camp here, and this is interesting.
What?
Because last week we all obviously lived through that emotional roller coaster of a Monday Night Football game.
Yeah.
Where Rodgers is Captain America, and then all of a sudden, Cam Akers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers apparently wants to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, there was something about like a different type of surgery,
Let me
right?
read this to you. So Ian Rappaport said that Aaron Rodgers received a new and innovative surgery on his Achilles, one that could potentially have him back and ready to play by mid-January.
Okay, speaking of Cam Akers, he came back pretty quickly.
4 months.
4 months after an Achilles.
That's wild.
And it's a lot less stress on the quarterback than it is on a running back. He came back. He wasn't really good, but he came back. So this is not out of the question.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if he comes back, how early, and are they even in contention when he comes back?
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement about this when this news story came out. But exactly, look at Zach Wilson. And what about Zach Wilson has you saying, oh, yeah, we'll be in the playoffs?
Like, you're going to have to come back immediately on fire. Like, nothing. Like, we haven't even seen this team play a game of, like,
it's so
before.
interesting with the Jets because if they're getting from Rodgers, like, hey, I'm going to be back for the playoffs, and Zach Wilson isn't cutting it, you have to go get a quarterback that can lead you to the playoffs, but is going to be okay sitting the bench once you get to the playoffs. That's a very, very tricky situation. I think that would mark off a couple names on our list. Carson Wentz isn't playing for that. Cam Newton's not playing for that.
Some guys might want to play just till they're back in the league, so you get some film on them.
Yeah, well, they have to be good enough to get into the playoffs, though. That's the other caveat. Like, it's a very interesting thing
like,
you're doing here.
Be good, but you won't be rewarded for being good.
Yeah,
because you're not going to be the
it's
starter.
a very specific role we need you to play.
Only Zach Wilson can do that. It's literally the only person.
Yeah,
but we'll talk about him later.
Yeah, he doesn't really look up to it.
Yep.
That's the news. We want to keep that short and sweet because we are debuting something new, and as I mentioned, it is called Ball Don't Lie.
Ball don't lie. That ball don't lie.
The ball doesn't lie, and what you see on the field is often reality as opposed to what the experts, quote unquote, are telling you. And so far, we have realized a couple things this year that maybe weren't the narrative coming into this season, and we're gonna go back and forth with a couple of these. I'll go ahead and get us started. That cool?
Let's do it.
Okay, number one, ball don't lie. The Dolphins are ready to compete with the Chiefs right now.
I can't tell you how much I agree with this.
Yeah, and I'll give you credit because preseason we were having the Jets-Dolphins conversation. You were so high in the Dolphins, and I really didn't get it. But after watching this team play 2 games, I get it. Because it's not like they're blowing teams out, but they're winning.
Yeah.
They beat the Chargers last week by 2. And I think, and you might say, like, okay, they beat them by 2. Like, why are the Chargers not in this conversation? Because they won.
Because they won.
And because the Chargers find a way to lose these games, and Miami found a way to win these games. They played on the Sunday night game. They beat the Patriots, who I think are much better than people thought they were. Yeah. Gave the Eagles a run for the money last week, and offense looks much better. The defense is always good. Got some good young talent over there. Judon's a beast.
Yeah.
Christian Gonzalez looks like he's going to
talking about New England.
New England, their defense, and they won tonight. And what I like about them is they won 2 very different games.
Yep.
They won a shootout, and then last night they won a defensive battle.
Yeah, they're going to play 3 safeties. We have to methodically run the ball and play short, which they're really good at, apparently.
Yeah.
Mostert went off today or last night. So this team it's just offensively, there's like 0 weaknesses because they could do anything.
Exactly. A team is dangerous when they can beat you different ways. So who's their next opponent? Is their next opponent the Broncos?
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. Awesome.
So the Broncos are now looking at the Dolphins and thinking, okay, they can win in a shootout. 2 threw for 466 yards and 3 touchdowns in game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could lock it down and win in a back-and-forth defensive battle type thing. And Tua can make the big plays, and their defense come up big because they have pass rushers, they have secondary, and they have offensive weapons galore.
And the defense ran by my favorite coordinator hire, Fangio.
Your boy.
Responded today. Say, look, we give a lot week 1. That's week 1. They buckled down. They had a couple turnovers today.
Yep.
And then this offense is just phenomenal. It's fun to watch, and it's also effective. Like their movement pre-snap, it's like XFL. We were talking about it. It's like XFL movement. Yeah. They have running starts. They have swings out it's just different.
Yeah, great coaching. And McDaniel is such an interesting coach to me.
He's so quirky.
He's so quirky and like mad genius.
Yeah.
And like I always marvel at like how does a locker room look at him? Like these guys have never had a coach like Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, no, never.
They must just trust his genius. They must trust this guy knows what he's talking about. I don't care what he talks like. We're all in on this guy.
If you win, you win. And if people will follow a winner, and he's winning.
Yeah, and he needs to get credit for what he's doing with Tua because Tua is looking very good. So far, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the year. Passer rating 92 in last night's game, and a passer rating of 110 in the first game. He looks really good. He looks confident. He looks sharp.
Also, when he falls, you could tell.
Yeah.
This guy does kung fu.
Yeah. Me and Angel constantly made fun of the broadcast last night because they mention at every chance they can that he took some kind of karate this offseason.
He took jiu-jitsu or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently the Dolphins have a black belt And
so many falls. Like, that's not a normal fall.
Yeah.
That's an elite fall.
That's a black belt fall.
He knows how to twist into it.
Yeah, you could tell.
Get into an arm bar.
Yeah, it's ever so it's subtle.
Like if you blink, you'll miss it. You have to really look at the details of a fall.
Yeah, Tua's playing well. Tyreek is obviously had a monster game in week 1 and a decent game tonight.
Yeah.
And when he doesn't have a monster game, they also have Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
And
then one of the underrated running backs this year, Mostert's very good when he's healthy, and he's healthy right now. So
yeah, and there's still plenty of buzz about Jonathan Taylor. That could still happen. Also, eventually, this team is going to get Jalen Ramsey.
Also, this team is decimated up front, and you couldn't tell because they get the ball out so fast.
Yeah.
Jets.
Part of that coaching.
Yeah.
Part of that coaching. So that's my first realization of this year. Dolphins now ready. Ball don't lie. They're ready to compete with the Chiefs. What do you got?
Ball don't lie. Eric Bieniemy's actually a pretty good offensive coordinator.
Yes, sir.
I mean, so Bronco fan. So I watched the Washington Commanders beat my Denver Broncos today. It's just, look, that team's always been one-sided, where defense is good to great at some points. The offense just kind of just strings along.
That front.
It's just, the front's so good. The offense, like, just get us 15 points.
Montez Sweat.
And what I like about this team is that they don't have some elite quarterback. Sam Howell's good. He's a fine quarterback. He's not some great quarterback. And they're 2-0. See, a win is a win in the NFL, just like we talked about with Miami.
Yeah.
They win these games by getting enough. Offensively, they're 19th in yards per game, 17th in rushing yards. They've gotten to a point where they're average, and where they need to step up, which they did today or yesterday against Denver, being down 21-3, they did.
Yeah.
So Bieniemy, it's creative play calling with good weapons and a quarterback who we don't think is a franchise guy.
Nope.
But they're winning, and it starts with the quarterback in any NFL game. Go ask the Jets how much quarterback matters.
Yeah.
I love this. I love Bieniemy, and I'm surprised that he's this good.
Yeah, Bieniemy is making a lot of people feel foolish.
Yeah.
Who took the stance of, well, it's actually Andy Reid who runs the Chiefs offense.
So,
Bieniemy's kind of just a...
It's Mahomes, bro. He's Mahomes.
Right. It's Mahomes, it's Reid. Bieniemy doesn't do much.
Yeah.
Well, joke's on you. He's 2-0 with the Commanders.
Yeah, with a quarterback who, which what we said, not
Sam Howell.
some franchise guy, yeah.
And guys just look different. Brian Robinson looks he's being used, I think, better. He's being more productive.
Yeah.
He's getting use out of Dotson and McLaurin.
Yep.
And he just listen. They're moving the ball, and they're 2-0. They're tied with the Eagles for the top of that, and Cowboys.
And if this keeps up, you could definitely put his name with all the other coordinators with head coaching spots. Because what he needed to prove was that he could do it without Andy Reid.
Right.
And if this team is, they're not going to finish like first in NFC. I don't think so. But like if they finish with a good record and good offensive stats, someone's gonna be like, all right, he could do it by himself. Well, he does coach a little bit hard, but so does that. Didn't a report come out in the preseason that he coaches really hard?
Yeah, earlier the preseason it came out that the players were complaining that Bieniemy was coaching too hard, and immediately Tyreek Hill, I believe, and McCall Hardman came to his defense, like, hey, he may coach hard,
but look at the outcome. You're 2-0 right now.
Take it.
You were down 21-3, and you came back because of that hard ass coaching. So
yeah, hey, good things happening in Washington.
Hey, look,
Snyder's out.
We got the
2-0.
The misogynist, sexist guy's gone.
Gone.
That usually helps any situation when that guy's out of the room.
Always a good thing.
And it's just good vibes. I mean, we talked about today, we're not sold on Rivera, but overall, the arrow's pointing up for this team.
Yeah, that's a great hire for Rivera. That may have given him a couple more.
Maybe another year.
Another year.
Yeah.
And because I think Rivera's pretty solidly a defensive head coach for most of his career.
Yeah.
So if he can find a guy who can run his offense and basically be almost a co-head coach with him as the CEO type guy, that could work. It's worked before.
So we'll keep up with this team, but as of right now, Bieniemy's a pretty good offensive coordinator.
Put some respect on that name.
Yep, exactly.
I got one here. Ball don't lie. They were hyped, but the Jags and Chargers are still a work in progress.
I hate that this is a thing.
Yeah, because we still love these teams. We didn't want to come on here and say, ball don't lie, they're not actually good. No, they are. It's 2 weeks in.
They are.
But they've shown already that maybe they're not ready to
Something's not
be up there with
quite-
the Chiefs, and maybe the Bengals haven't been there either, I guess. But where the Chiefs are right now,
I mean, the Jags did lose to the Chiefs, so forgivable.
yeah,
But those are games where a team that's on the rise should win those games.
Yeah.
And the Chargers are literally 0-2.
yeah. The Chargers lost to the Dolphins, and I think that just you may say it's only 2 points, but like I said for the Dolphins, they won. They found a way to win a close game, and that's
Yep.
always been the problem with the Chargers.
Yep.
That is the hump they can't get over. So that it's 2 points, but it's a big deal to win and it's a loss.
Yeah.
Today they lose to yesterday, Sunday. We're recording this late on Monday or Sunday night, so might get mixed that up. But on Sunday, they lose to the Titans in overtime by 3. So now Eckler's hurt. Kelly, the magic has worn off. He only had 40 yards rushing or something like that. And it's all on Herbert again. He did throw for more yards. Allen had a game, but they found another way to lose a game to a team they should beat.
You should beat the Titans. On paper, you're more talented than the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, Tannehill doesn't look great. I mean, he has flashes, but you should beat this Titans team.
Yeah. You should beat them.
With how people talked about you, with how we talked about you, you should beat this team. Now it's week 2, so
But it's not us saying we're like, oh, they're cooked.
not at all.
Saying they're not there yet.
They're not
Teams
there
can
yet.
get hot in middle season and end up with a good record.
Unfortunately, the Jags we feel are there too, and this is a bummer because they've played okay. They've played fine. They lost to the Chiefs today,
They played the Chiefs well.
17-9. That's
I mean,
respectable.
you lose the Chiefs, you're like gonna get ridiculed because you lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah. My problem is you got to wait. You're facing defending champs. You got to find a way to put up more than 9 points at home.
And Lawrence didn't throw a touchdown against them.
Yeah. 9 points at home. Lawrence didn't no touchdowns. Only threw for 216 yards. Didn't run the ball that well.
Yeah.
You have your opportunity against the defending champs at home. Now's your time
Yep.
to capitalize,
That's
to
a
build some
statement
momentum.
game.
Exactly.
Yep.
And they failed to do that. They did have a nice, an impressive win against the Colts, rookie quarterback in his first start, win by 10, but
Yeah.
But
face a team that's gonna be there and
Yeah.
you can't score a touchdown.
yeah, they're not quite there yet. Hopefully, by the end of the year, they're there.
Yeah.
And continue to move forward. Bottom line.
Ball don't lie. I believe in this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, and
This is the only one we're not together on
look.
because I don't.
At the beginning of this season, I was like, this team's not gonna be bad. I mean, I didn't think they'd be 2-0, but like they're not gonna be bad. Good defense, good offensive weapons, and whatever you get from Baker. Right now, we're getting nice Baker. We're getting good Baker.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
That's what scares me.
yeah, if they stay hot through 7 games and then cool off, they'll have a nice record to just lead off. I don't know. This team defensively, they're 9th in total yards, 2nd in rushing yards allowed, and 8th in points. So this defense is kind of carrying them.
Yeah.
Offensively, they're 9th in passing yards and 18th in rushing. So just about average if you balance that out.
Which is not at all where people thought they'd be. So
No.
I get your point.
They're average on offense, streaky, and they're good on like defense. This NFC, the bottom half isn't going to be too strong. I can see this team very much in this playoff race, riding the hotness of Baker Mayfield until it burns out.
Wow. What if the Bucs make the playoffs?
What if, look, before 2022, Geno Smith was a bust. Did not work.
Wow.
Loser.
Yeah, that just blew my mind that you're trying to say.
No, I'm not saying he could be that. I'm saying it's happened before.
You're right.
A quarterback can get hot for 1 year.
That'd be fun.
If Baker gets hot for 1 year and gets in the playoffs, how fun is that? We get those commercials back.
That'd be a ton of fun. I would love him back in the State Farm.
Yeah, or whatever it was.
Take him back.
Yeah. It'd be Buck's house, but yeah. I don't know. I am believing because what I see in the field, because ball don't lie, they're winning.
Yeah.
Ball don't lie, they have 2 wins when other teams who are better, Chargers, have 0 wins.
Yeah.
Ball don't lie, they're winning. I'm starting to believe in this Buccaneers team.
So in this one, I wanted to put the Rams in, and I just
In the same vein.
yeah.
Of like,
So I think the way you believe in the Bucs, I'm not quite there, but kind of there with the Rams. I think they're better than we all thought they'd be.
Mhm.
Stafford looks like he went and got some ayahuasca.
that dog in him
Yeah,
right now. He got the new teeth too. Have you seen that?
Yeah, his teeth are white. They're
He's got
very
that
white.
Jim Carrey mask teeth.
God, he's been in LA too long.
Smoking.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
when
okay.
It's the teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yep,
the quote.
Yep, you're right. Yeah. So Ball don't lie. Keep an eye on those teams. They're outperforming where we all thought they'd be. My turn here. Ball don't lie. And this one is hard to say, but it's the truth. Ball don't lie. The Bears are the biggest disappointment through 2 games.
Preach, honey.
That offense doesn't look any better.
No.
And they're 0-2. They lose to the Bucks, to your Bucks, by 10 points. They lost to the Packers in Week 1 by 18 points. Back-to-back double-digit losses. Offense doesn't look great. Defense looks just as bad as it was last year, giving up back-to-back 38 and 27. Not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Their DC now is who knows where. Their head coach is now their DC.
I mean, I wish we knew so we could joke around about it, but I don't know if he's good or not, so I'm not going to do
we
it.
can't do it yet. Fields is thrown for 216 and then 211, so he's not lighting it up.
No.
I don't think he rushed for more than 30 yards today, and so not running like he used to. I mean, it just hasn't looked good. And what I was afraid about with this Bears team is that they were getting hyped for the weapons because weapons are sexy. DJ Moore is sexy. Chase Claypool, athletic freak.
Yeah.
Right. We had the big splash plays in the offseason with Herbert and Moore and stuff like that. They spent a ton of money. Right. Spent a ton of money. But I feel like this Bears team has skipped a couple steps in their rebuild, and it's showing.
Specifically in
The trenches.
5 areas in front of Justin Fields.
Yeah. And then the 5 areas on defense that stand in front of those.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the defensive line, the offensive line. Their trenches just aren't good enough to support the fun stuff around it.
They have 10 sacks in 2 games. They've allowed 10 sacks in 2 games. For a quarterback that you want to be elite, you cannot get sacked that much and expect this guy to progress into an elite quarterback. Which
I want to throw a little bit of blame on Fields here because he missed some wide open guys today.
He holds the ball a little bit too.
He holds the ball. He doesn't see the field that well.
Yeah.
I think he has a hard time with appropriate trajectory and speed of his throws.
Yeah.
That's a little more technical than we usually get, but sometimes, basically, he throws the ball when someone's 5 yards away. He just rockets it. Just throws
Either
them
out of angst or out of poor mechanics.
Yeah, just not very catchable balls all the time for his receivers. It hasn't looked very good.
Yeah.
In Chicago, and
they're 0-2.
They're disappointing.
They look the same as last year.
Ugh.
Which is crazy. They put a ton of money just to look
Just
exactly
more
the same.
expensive.
Like now you don't. Not only do you suck, you're expensive.
Right.
While you're doing that.
That's a tough one. We're gonna take a quick break and then we'll get back and finish these. Okay, we are back with our segment Ball Don't Lie, looking past some of the narratives.
Hit the button.
And into how it's actually playing on the field, because you know what? You can talk all you want, but at the end of the day,
Ball don't lie. That ball don't lie.
that ball don't lie.
That ball's on.
Moving on here. I love this one. I'll let you share this.
CMC might just win himself an MVP.
Ball don't lie. CMC has played himself into early MVP talk. Don't want to get too crazy with that, but the narrative started early.
He's not even catching the ball this year. He only has 6 catches this year. But he has 116 yards in his first game and 152 in the second game, touchdowns in both games. And he has 6 plus 10 rushes in those 2 games. So it's not like he's just he has big runs, not just grinding out little runs. He plays for a team that's predominantly based around him.
Yeah, the Niners, and this will be a point later, but the Niners obviously look really good.
Yes.
They look like they picked up right where they left off last year. Purdy
Maybe better.
Maybe better because Purdy now has some experience underneath his belt. He looks healthy.
Everyone's
he looks
healthy
sharp.
right now, knock on wood.
Debo's playing well. Ayuki got hurt today. I'm not sure his status, but he's played well so far. And the defense looks just as dominant as it's always been, really. They had a tough divisional game today against the Rams, so they pulled it out.
Yep.
And they look fantastic. And CMC is the what do they call it? The stick that stirs the drink.
Yep.
Is that the saying? That's not the saying.
It is.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, yeah, no. He is, though. He makes it out. If you watch, prior to him going, the whole offense based around, you had to run the ball and play action.
With whatever running back was healthy.
With whoever was on the field just as a running back.
Yeah.
They even had Debo play running back because they were so desperate for somebody.
Right.
CMC comes, it's exactly what they want. And they don't even try to load management him.
Right.
He's just, you're the guy.
Isn't it interesting that he's like never hurt now?
It makes you think, was he
In
hurt?
Carolina.
Was he hurt in Carolina? He's like,
He was
I'm not
constantly
playing
hurt.
for a bad team.
That's kind of fishy.
Who knows?
But you know what?
Or he just changed up his regimen. Healthier now.
Listen, I don't want to listen.
He's in California. Maybe he smokes a lot more weed now.
Maybe. Here's the thing about a running back winning the MVP. It doesn't happen. Sean Alexander's the last one, and that feels like a very, very long time ago.
Adrian Pearson never won MVP.
I don't think so. Look it up. MVP running backs.
Yeah.
While you're saying that, for a running back to win MVP, a very specific situation has to be in play. He cannot be outshined by because listen, MVP is a narrative award.
Yes.
It's a perception award. It's not always the actual most valuable player. So for a running back to win this, the quarterback cannot be outshining him or the reason, quote unquote, that they're winning. I don't think Purdy's going to take that away from him. I don't think Purdy's going to be in the MVP conversation. CMC, like we said, is the engine to that ship.
You're right.
And they have to be on a team that is going to be contending for a championship, and the Niners look every bit of that.
This is a separate point. I hate that that's the narrative. That's like the best player on the best team wins MVP.
Right.
Not just the best player in the NFL wins, but he's like you said, stars align here for him.
Yeah.
There's not like a Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. No, it's in the public's eyes, it's a regular quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's doing,
Yeah. CMC, way too early. MVP favorite.
Look, I mean, we put some money down, but I would not bet against that. If he
I
keeps
love it, man. I love me some CMC.
If he keeps this up, yeah, and he's like a likable guy. He has like simple. I see him on commercials now. He's like a regular dude.
Yeah.
He's not like arrogant or not that anyone else is, but I'm saying he's very likable.
Yeah. In that vein, I'm gonna go to my next one.
Do it.
Ready? Ball don't lie. CMC's 49ers. They look like the number 1 seed in the NFC. I would have been. Yeah, I know you like the Cowboys. I do like the Cowboys as well. I think offensively, I think it's the Niners, and defensively, at best, it's a wash. The Cowboys look very good as well.
Yeah.
But I think offensively, I don't know. I want to see these two teams play so badly.
What a freaking duel.
Yeah.
I think because defensively they're so good.
Yeah.
They're like, but offensively, you're right though. The 49ers have just more weapons.
Yeah.
A better play caller.
I mean, match up those teams, and I'll take a very careful game manager in Purdy and dynamic weapons who don't need the ball down the field versus Dak throwing against this. Because they need him to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Pollard's very good, but he's not going to be as successful against this Niners front with Fred Warner and those boys.
Yeah.
And right now, I'll take the 49ers. And I'm an Eagles fan, and I think the Eagles should be in this mix too. They're 2-0, which I think is impressive because they haven't played anywhere near their best football. But to be fair, let's look at who's playing the best right now. I think it's the Niners.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the Cowboys bandwagon for now. I know
You
they'll break my heart eventually.
Probably.
But for now. But no, you're right. If you watch them play, you just know like they have weapons in every level on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
You know how hard that is to get and to have them under contract, to have them all healthy,
Yeah.
and then to have depth behind them.
Yeah.
Because Ayuk left today, and then Deebo Samuel had a game.
They gave Deebo Samuel carries again. No, I got to look something up real quick. You good?
No, okay, sorry. I thought, but like this team, and then defensively, Bosa's just getting into shape, and he's once again like the best defensive player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who the DC is. They rotate these DCs every year because they always get head coaching jobs, and they're still just as good. And Purdy, we've talked about him a lot this offseason and last week. If he just keeps this up, this guy might fall into a nice career if he stays with the 49ers for a couple of years.
Absolutely.
If I'm him, I'm telling my agent, we are signing here and nowhere else because
sign
I
me
am
too.
good here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he won't demand, I don't think he'll demand a top number. He'll get a nice solid number.
Yeah.
And he's at least going to get us there. We'll see in the playoffs what he does. He hasn't been to the big games yet. But this team, ball don't lie, they might be the best team in the in the NFL.
Absolutely. Number 9 is yours, and I love it. So go ahead and share it.
Ball don't lie. Jordan Love is the next franchise quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
Through 2 games, 29 for 51 passing, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
The Packers did it again.
Yeah.
They literally went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to what it looks like right now, another good quarterback.
Now, they lost today, but he threw another 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So it's hard to put that on him.
Yeah.
He looks good.
And they lost today without their number one option,
Yeah.
without their left tackle, and without their starting running back.
Right, yeah.
And then Elton Jenkins left. So he had a bunch of backups and him.
Yeah, I mean, what a transformation. Like, the first couple glimpses we got of Jordan Love, kind of in between when Aaron
I'm
Rodgers was
thinking the Chiefs game where he had to
Chiefs
fill
game.
in. He looked
Yeah.
horrible.
Even before that, he just looked like this guy's not it. He's
Yeah.
a bust, whatever. And then we got a little teaser this preseason, and
Little-
we thought,
little
okay,
taste.
maybe.
Yeah.
But some of these are against backups.
Yeah.
Now here he is. They are 1-1, but he's played great football.
Yeah. The stat isn't, or the bottom line isn't the Packers are good. The bottom line is Jordan Love is good.
It's so funny too because Fields, the rival, was getting all the attention
And
preseason.
Jordan Love was up there just like, I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to do what I need to do. I don't care if you call me system quarterback because I'm just going to be good.
Jordan Love, already a better, obviously, current quarterback.
Yes.
Prospects for the future, give me Jordan Love.
Think about where we would be hype-wise if Fields threw for 6 touchdowns in 2 games.
Oh, my God. Yeah, if they're 1-1 and, obviously one of their games they lost to what looks like a decent team at, maybe 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, that many yards, we'd be like everyone, all the people who called for Fields to win MVP and all those things, breakout player, they'd be taking the victory lap.
Yeah, Jordan Love is impressive, and he doesn't look like he's like, because he's sat, so he shouldn't look this way. Doesn't look like flustered or nervous or like I don't know the play, but he looks comfortable in this. This is his offense now.
Yeah.
It's fitted around him and what he does well. He's a good athlete. He can move a little bit, and him and LaFleur right now are just in sync. I know they lost today, but
Good on you, LaFleur, because people question you like, hey, well, it's just Aaron
like,
Rodgers.
are you a good coach?
Yep.
A little bit of the Bieniemy kind of thing here. Like, are you a good coach, or do you have Aaron Rodgers?
Yep.
Right now, he's like, look, at least I can make quarterbacks good.
Yep.
Jordan Love.
We got 2 more. I got one. You got one. I'll share mine first. Ball don't lie, and this one's sad for you. Ball don't lie. Russell Wilson is not an elite quarterback any longer. He's just okay. The Denver Broncos are 0-2. They lost to the Raiders by 1 and the Commanders by 2. Those are 2 teams that, although I guess the Commanders they definitely are surprising. You should beat them.
Yes.
The Raiders, you 1,000% should have beat them. And in neither game, Russ has been. He's had decent numbers. He has 5 touchdowns, just 1 interception, and that's why we're not calling him a bad quarterback or going in on him and dumping on him. But as far as the quarterback who at one point was the chef in the kitchen,
Yep. Cooking up in there.
yep, let
And that
Russ
pot was
cook.
there. What I'm saying?
He's not that anymore.
He has look, as a Bronco fan, he has these glimpses of like, oh, that's a good throw. He had a deep ball to Marvin Mims. Like, oh, that's the old Russ. Then after that, you figure out, oh, he's not really the same Russ, because what he does now is he gets panicked and he wants to be the hero.
Yeah,
and you think with Sean Payton he'll reel it in, but it feels like right now there's a fight between him and Sean Payton, and Sean Payton's gonna win.
Yeah, they scored 21 points yesterday against the Commanders in the first half, and then just 12 in the second half.
Kind of a mumbled 12 because one of them was off a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I was going to say, he 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. One of those is a Hail Mary that got tipped literally 3 times before it was caught.
So
amazing play, but
yeah,
not exactly him working the offense down the field. He's running the ball well. I'll say that.
Yeah.
6 carries there, 56 yards. I don't know if he keeps his job.
It's if they keep losing, I don't know how because like Sean Payton didn't come there to just babysit a bad quarterback.
He's
came there
not
like,
going down with Russell Wilson.
no, he's like, no, this is my team, not Russ's team. I didn't trade for Russ. I didn't sign Russ. This is before me. I'm not gonna let him decide my legacy, my part 2 legacy in Denver.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some tough conversations if they're 0-4, 0-5, and Russell Wilson isn't doing enough.
Is it Brett Rippon? That's who's back there? No, that's
You know who it is.
no, I don't.
The first guy that they signed, Jared Stidham.
Jared Stidham. Sorry, I get those 2 just the most vanilla quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life confused.
If it's Stidham,
Stidham.
okay,
Jared
look,
Stidham.
Look, if it's Stidham, it's Sean Payton's guy because Sean Payton signed Stidham. So We'll see. I mean,
And Stidham will also come with no expectations. So
and-
anything he does,
ball
will
don't
be-
lie. He's not the same quarterback
he's not.
with or without Sean Payton.
Nope.
Yes,
Um,
he looks a little better, but he's not elite.
absolutely.
Those 2018, 15, 16, those gone.
Go ahead and move on here to number 10. You got it.
Ball don't lie. Zach Wilson is still Zach Wilson. Look. Before we pile on how this guy sucks, the win they had over the Buffalo Bills was iconic.
Yeah.
But that fades really fast
Yes.
once it's week 2 prep. All right, Zach, you're the guy now. You're not gonna have any momentum with Aaron Rodgers being out. It's just you. By the way, that's Micah Parsons. And we're not going to baby you because we can't. This roster's built to win now.
Michael Parsons terrorized.
So, against Dallas, he was 12 for 27, a touchdown, and 3 picks. He was sacked 3 times. His quarterback rating was 38.1.
It's just the same guy.
It's the same guy. It's a guy who's indecisive, throws over the middle high always, does not learn, and is going to make these guys frustrated. After the game, there was a bunch of tweets that got deleted from Breece Hall and from Garrett Wilson and from guys that were just frustrated.
Yikes.
Because it's tough because you go from Aaron Rodgers, this guy who's going to lead you to the promised land, to the Zach Wilson who you know who he is. And we kind of maybe got fooled that, he beat Buffalo. He actually threw a touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson to, make the team look good. Goes against an actual team that's going to be in the playoffs. Like Dallas is the teams that you're going to see in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Good everywhere. 3 picks.
I mean, how many losses here do you let them rack up before you're just, as a Jets fan, rushing the Jets facility saying we need another quarterback?
You're calling right now.
Do not let this season go to waste because you want Zach Wilson to be the guy.
You're calling right now. You're on the phones with agents, with scouts. What does he look like? What does this guy on this team look like? What's the trade package that we need to get this guy?
Yeah.
Because you look at that team and you're in Dallas and you want to beat Dallas because that's a good team and you get smoked. There's no time in that game was like Jets are gonna win this one.
Next 4 games: Patriots, Chiefs, Broncos, Eagles.
I mean, they might be the Broncos because we're not that good, but those are they might go 1-3 there. And what do? You Zach, look.
Yeah, you can't let this get too bad because the AFC is too good.
You know what sucks about this? This is literally Zach Wilson's career.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he's a bust. Like he's not good.
He's not good.
Like he's not like Jordan Love in that we saw a couple of a game, maybe when he came in late in the game.
Yeah,
he played almost a full year last year.
And some guys don't have the privilege of sitting behind somebody.
Yeah,
some guys you're either good now or you're not going to get another chance. Like in this league,
he had a great defense. He has plenty of weapons. I mean. He had both offensive rookies of the year last year.
He's still Zach Wilson. He's just
same. Not good. You missed.
Yeah, you missed, and the fact that you're stubborn about it. Don't be stubborn about this. This is the last.
No, Salah's out there. This is our guy. This is Zach's team.
I understand trying to instill some confidence, but hey, listen, Robert, sit down for a second. You're gonna waste this team's prime because you're too stuck in. No, we're making work with Zach Wilson. No, you're not.
Every player on that team believes that aside from quarterback, this is a championship roster.
You believe that?
I believe that.
Yeah.
I think most people would believe that.
Yeah, most people. Yeah.
And so that roster is not going to in turn put up with a whole year of Zach Wilson nonsense.
Of babying this quarterback. Hey,
no.
Here we go.
Hey, you're good.
You're good.
You're really good.
Trust yourself.
You're not,
No.
and it's already showing. You think of Dalvin Cook, Randall Cobb, some of these vets, Alan Lazard.
Yeah,
they're not gonna baby this guy and say, yeah, well, Robert said you're good. Robert Saleh said you're good.
I keep hearing you're good. So, yeah,
I'm about to come out and say, do you just suck when you need a quarterback?
Yeah, there's gonna be some tough conversations. There has to be.
Yeah,
enough babying this guy. Like
we heard that they worked out some vets.
Yeah,
nothing came public, so we'll see. Your boy, who had played with Hackett before, and Hackett doesn't get off the hook here either. You're like, so you could only be a good offensive coordinator if Aaron Rodgers.
This is the second year of okay, he's coming for Aaron Rodgers. And the second year of you didn't get Aaron Rodgers. And another year of this offense is very bad.
One of the worst in the NFL.
Yes.
Back-to-back worst in the NFL
Yeah.
offenses.
So it's not a coincidence that these bad offenses keep following you, Nathaniel. I hope I never see him.
You hate.
No, I hate strong. I strongly dislike Nathaniel Hackett. Yeah.
That's fair.
I strongly dislike Nathaniel Hackett. And
we went through a couple names that we like if they do start looking at vets. But at this point, anyone looks better than Zach Wilson.
just get a guy who's going to manage it.
The Mike White thing is so bad now that you chose Zach Wilson over Mike White. And I understand there's money involved there.
Yeah.
Mike White got paid. Zach Wilson's under a rookie contract, all that. But at the end of the day, you did not choose the best roster when you made that decision.
Yes.
And now you're paying for it.
You're paying the price. Right now, you're losing.
Yeah, you brought in a 40-year-old quarterback and did not take his backup seriously.
Yep.
You're paying for it.
Yeah.
Let's
Bottom line, Zach Wilson, still Zach Wilson.
stay on your boy. Let's go in at him more.
Pause.
Oh yeah, man, you're good at that.
Yeah.
I always miss those. Nathaniel Hackett today.
Pause.
What?
You're good at that.
That's just your dirty mind. So
Yeah,
we said last week that if the Jets were going to win this game, and if they're going to win it all going forward, you have to run the ball. And I get that they were down, but just because you're down doesn't mean passing's still the best option. Because if you suck at passing, you suck at passing. Now the defense just knows you're going to throw the ball.
Whether you get 8 yards per carry or 3 yards per pass.
Brees Hall had 4 carries
That
for 9 yards.
cannot happen.
Dalvin Cook had 4 carries. Michael Carter had 2 carries. Their leading rusher today, Zach Wilson. That's not going to work. Hackett.
Go on. I'm start cussing.
Yeah, and I would say, well, don't worry, they threw to them. Nope. Cook had 1 reception. Michael Carter had 1 reception, and that was really it.
This is a problem of not utilizing your assets that you have on your team.
This offense needs to go through the running backs if Zach Wilson's going to be a quarterback. Maybe if Zach Wilson's not the quarterback, even whoever's there.
You need to take a look at the Falcons playbook.
Yeah.
Go take a look at their playbook.
Yeah, they're winning with Desmond Ridder.
Because they run the hell out of the ball.
And it was the same for last year. They beat expectations last year because they rode Algier and Cordell Patterson and Huntley and just, I'm going to throw running backs at you. I'm just going to run the ball because we're good at that. We can be good at that. And
they have all the talent, as much talent as the Falcons do.
Oh, way more. With Brees Hall and I mean, not this year with Bijan, obviously, picked the Falcons, but last year, Algier and Cordell Patterson and Huntley.
Take a little, eat a little piece of humble pie. Go down there to that Falcons team. Say, can we borrow your playbook? Just and come back. And
is that what that sounds like?
That's a little picture. And utilize that playbook because we've seen that win in the NFL. You need to do that offense, not whatever you're trying to do with Zach Wilson, where he's the leading rusher on your team, and you give your star running backs 8 touches combined.
We're really going in on the Jets right now
because it's a good team. You're wasting a good team on a bad offensive philosophy.
Ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
Get your
that
crap
ball don't
together.
Lie. So that's our segment, Ball Don't Lie. That was fun. We'll do that every Monday and kind of peel back the curtain a little bit on some of these narratives.
Brought to you by nobody.
Brought to you by no one, so give us a call. Yeah. I wanted to hear the remaining undefeated teams after 2 weeks.
Okay. God.
The Niners.
What was
For
it?
real or no?
For real.
Yeah. The Falcons.
They're undefeated.
Undefeated 2-0.
They're for real.
The Bucks.
Well, I guess if for real now, I'm on board.
The Cowboys.
For real.
Eagles.
For real.
Commanders.
For guys.
No one in the AFC West. No one in the AFC South. The Baltimore Ravens.
Real. I've been high on them forever.
Yeah. The Miami Dolphins.
For real.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Ravens for just a second. This was not on the plan, so we got to close the show here soon. But I want to talk about the Ravens because they're 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Texans, which is like, okay, you should beat them
You
at
have to.
home.
Yes.
Stroud's first start. Today they beat the Bengals.
If we'll talk about the Ravens, we'll talk about the Bengals too. But the Ravens, they were without a lot of guys, right?
Yeah, they're missing, I believe, their starting center. Their starting left tackle, Ronnie Stanley, was out. They're missing Marlon Humphrey. They're missing Marcus Williams.
Yep.
He tore his pec. He's out for the year.
And they're still without a running back.
And they beat the Bengals.
Who's
J.K. Dobbins, yeah.
Who's my pick to win the Super Bowl? The Bengals.
Yeah, the Ravens here are they're still under the radar. No one's really talking about
They
them.
probably love it.
Lamar Jackson's back. He had a great game today. Gus Edwards looks okay, but I think they're going to make a move here at running back at some point.
Look, there's this guy out there who hates where he's at, and he's a pretty good running back.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is pay him for like 2 years. Give him like a little Fugaz deal.
I don't know their cap situation, but Jonathan Taylor would be great here.
Yes, he's a power running back on a power run team. I don't care what they say. We'll pass. You're a power run team still.
Yeah, they could throw to him if they want. He would be a.
And you have the depth to support a non-football shape yet. First week.
Yeah.
Learn the playbook week 2 still. Yeah.
That'd be really good. Let's talk about the Bengals real quick. They're 0-2. Are you worried about them yet?
No, because they've like I said before, they've had slow starts before. This is just they take a while to get going.
Got blown out by the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Good defensive line. And today lose to the Ravens. Good defensive line. Next week they have the Rams. I think they right the ship next week. But this offensive line's a real problem.
Yeah.
But I get it's always been, but the AFC's better now.
Yeah, it's gotten better because the teams in your division have gotten better.
Yeah.
The Browns are a good team. The Dolphins are not division. The Dolphins are good now. It's going to be tough. Like if they want to get that number 1 seed, you're off to a bad start. You have to go on a hot streak now to get the number 1 seed.
Burrow did miss the entire preseason with that injury.
And he said he aggravated his calf.
They aggravated his calf.
Maybe that's why he's not playing well.
Not good. And to take mobility away from a quarterback that is already running for his life.
Yes.
That's a recipe for bad news.
Yeah, so watch out for the Bengals. I still believe in them, but take a little peek at them. Make sure.
Sometimes this happens. A team has all the pieces, and just for whatever reason, whether it be injuries or fluky losses or weird coaching decisions, it just doesn't go their way that year.
Those championship windows aren't as big as people think.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's just a 1-year window, but yeah.
That's our show for today. We'll be back on Wednesday with a new
3.0
of Angels Heavenly 10, Angels Top 10, Power Rankings, and much, much more. Catch us Wednesday. Don't forget to follow on Instagram, X, and Twitter at Bench Show. We'll see you Wednesday.
Adios.